So, hello, good morning to
Good
have
morning, good evening there in Austria.
good evening, exactly. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, this morning, because you are in the mastery program right now. So, squeezing in a little Valentine's gift.
I love to squeeze it all in. It's my motto.
Yeah. So today this is going to be about love, relationships, and as Valentine's Day is everything is about love. And you are the specialist in relationships with your wife, Lindsay. You said 38 years. This is quite a challenge for some people. So maybe you can offer. Sorry?
When I was first getting books published in England, I came back from one trip that Lens couldn't go with me on because she was, taking care of the kids in school. And I said to her, they've just given me the name, the Love Doctor. She said, I'm so glad they didn't give you the name, the Sex Doctor. They could have, but it's the Love Doctor, honey.
So, what is the secret about relationships, actually, Chuck?
Well, I don't know that there is a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's available to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the key is to know that they're in a relationship. There's only one direction, and it's toward your partner. So all kinds of things will come up. Every broken piece in your mind and heart will come up between you and your partner, and you'll think it's their fault. Actually, it's stuff you've dragged in from childhood and old relationships and things like that. But if you have the will that I just want to join my partner, I just want to love her, or I just want to love him, then you can get through that. But it really means that you give it all. If you want your relationship to succeed, you give it all. So if I asked you, in your last relationship, what percentage did you give yourself?
20.
20. How long did it last?
2 years.
2 years. Now that's pretty good for only giving 20%.
Very complicated on off. So
Yeah. But here's a general principle. It's like you find someone you want to invest in for the rest of your life who will be a good companion. And even then, there are major challenges out of your soul, the broken parts where you fell or had miscreations and ancestrally or past lives. You can heal all that stuff if you really want to. The second thing, beside giving it all, just making sure that. So, Betty, you don't have a partner right now, right? Okay. So what if you chose right now to give 100% to your future partner, to your next partner? You just turn on your headlights, get your I-beams going, and you give 100%, and every day until he shows up at your door next week.
On Valentine's Day, hey.
What I found is every time you take a step toward, if you don't have a partner, every time you take a step toward a partner, they're taking a step toward you until you meet. And that may mean forgiving old partners. And it may mean, just forgiving your parents who did the best they could given their parents, and everybody's trying to give it all. You're trying to love your munchkins. But it's like if you're wounded, it makes it really difficult. And, kids can hold that against you, and that rings a bell. And so you learn that actually you don't have to be deprived of anything if your parents didn't have to give it to you, because actually underneath the pain and the grievance, you brought in the gift. Heaven's plan is that nobody be deprived. But all of us, out of revenge or many other things, we deprive ourselves. We deprive ourselves of love. We deprive ourselves of sex. And all of those things, we deprive ourselves of peace and ease. And someplace we're actually punishing ourselves. Someplace we believe we committed a sin, even if you don't believe in sin. But there's guilt there. And then we create punishment or withdrawal. I don't deserve this beautiful woman. I don't deserve this handsome guy. And then there's something where if we haven't healed something with people from the past, what happens is we bring that unfinished business into the present. And, and it shows up as a present problem. And most people don't realize that all pain comes from the past and all problems are transferred in because we haven't finished with it. And as soon as we learn the lesson, it's resolved and our partner looks so much better. One of the things I would suggest, here's a second thing, besides giving it all, is letting heaven be in charge of your relationship. Because if heaven's not in charge, if your higher mind's not in charge, the only alternative is that your ego is in charge. Now, the pain that you have suffered in relationships shows when your ego was in charge. And your ego tries to convince you that you're right, that you're special. The ego tries to make everything all about you. And one of the keys of a happy relationship is it's not about me. And if they're acting out, it's not about me. They're going through something. They need my help. But if you make it all about me, then okay, I'm gone forever. I'll leave my face here, just paint it on the wall, but I won't be here. And then you'll be sorry. So no more good sex for you, Buster, after what you did or didn't do. And then it's like shooting ourselves in the foot. This was a lesson we came to learn. Maybe a lesson about jealousy, maybe a lesson about healing heartbreaks. In the mastery program, I had somebody who started with 47 heartbreaks. He's now down to 2. Okay, no, actually it was 1 yesterday. And he still had 1 heartbreak he was holding on to. He was really being right about it. They really did this to me. I'm really a victim. But I studied the subconscious, 2 years into, this healing work. I studied hypnosis, and then I found a way to use your intuition to get in really quick. And boy, it's mind blowing. There's no bad thing that we didn't, that wasn't collusion, that we didn't help plan. And even stuff going back to birth and 1 year old and 2 years old and hospital events and all that stuff. And then you begin healing it and people begin getting their power back. You don't get more guilt. The ego says, oh yeah, it wasn't their fault. It was your fault, Betty. No, if it's anybody's fault, it's everybody's fault. And what I found is innocence is so crucial. And innocence means that you can give so much more, that you have self-love. And if you don't have self-love, you don't have the commodity to give to your partner. You don't have the love. You don't have what they need. So self-love is crucial. As I said recently in a filming about relationships, that all relationships show you your relationship to yourself.
Uh-oh.
So do you have a brother, Betty?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And how good is that relationship?
Not very good. Not existent, actually. Not really existent.
Not existent. So do you realize that would help you have a non-existent love relationship?
Yeah, I thought about it.
Part of your purpose is your brother. You've been assigned him. And you chose that this is a great challenge. My monkey brother. Yeah. And how to, nobody gets better without help.
Mhm.
Nobody gets better without forgiveness. Forgiveness is practical love here on the earth plane. And it just means instead of having this grievance and attacking, instead of having this grievance and withdrawing, instead of having this grievance and throwing parts of yourself away, you instead give forth.
Mhm.
How about a little quick exercise?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know how to approach him actually.
Yes. So let's imagine that distance and separation is the root of all problems.
Mhm.
It leads to the four horsemen of the apocalypse: grievance, authority conflict, guilt, and fear. And you'll find those in every problem. Heal one of those sides and the whole thing heals, but it's really healing the separation. Let's imagine there was a body of water between you and your brother. How big is it?
The river we have here in my city, it's a river, Moor it's called.
So that's not actually so bad. I worked with people with oceans.
No, actually no.
Okay, so imagine asking Mother Mary. She's a good help. I mean, any of them will come in, Kuan Yin or Lakshmi or anybody ever. So anyhow, ask her to help build the bridge from your heart, from your light to your brother's light.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when you build that, how close are you now?
It's a stream.
It's a stream.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now ask Mother Mary to help you build the bridge of light from your light to your brother's light.
That's very close.
Very close. Like, wait, right there?
And nose to nose in front.
Great. So ask Mother Mary to build one more elegant bridge of light, because there's just one place closer where your lights join. So would you ask her to build that beautiful, elegant bridge of light?
Melting.
Yeah. So most people, we actually use our bodies to create separation, because it means you're over there and I'm over here. Maybe we get together on a Saturday night. Oh my God, it's Saturday night there. It's like, but then Sunday morning you're, separate again. And once you made love, typically you have a celebration, and then you start over again.
Mhm.
Maybe you start over again in a week, or you start over again at the next level the next morning. And you start now working at the next level of where you're distant. And how do you feel toward your brother now?
Happy, like a little girl actually, really like, yay.
Yeah, and that's like you were little kids playing together, and
Yeah.
and sometimes your brother needs all the help you can give, but there's no problem he has that you won't have a hidden gift inside you that you could give. And if you're willing to bring that gift out, ask heaven to supersize it. You can always help your brother. You come to be one team. Betty, how many lifetimes did you spend with your brother? Past lives, if you were to know.
500.
500. Do you think there might be a little karma in those 500 lifetimes?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a few misunderstandings. But if you've been together that long, you're learning partners.
Mhm.
How many of those lifetimes were you married?
3,
How many of those lifetimes were you lovers?
4,
How many lifetimes were you enemies?
500 comes up again.
Yeah. So in spite of being married and lovers, you're still enemies. And I will get you this lifetime because I will be your sister. You will live to regret this. But basically evolution and spirituality is the evolution toward oneness. In A Course in Miracles, it says that happens through forgiveness. We just get closer. forgiveness makes the world a little more benign. Let's have the worst lifetime you and your brother spent together. This is all, might be all your imagination, but these are patterns in your mind, just like dreams are. So you change the patterns, So what was the worst pattern you ever had with your brother? Probably you lived it in the country that's now called
Spain.
Spain, returning to the scene of the crime.
Again.
Having moved back from Spain a couple of years ago. Okay. So what was your relationship back then?
We were brother and sister. That's interesting, yeah.
You're trying to get this relationship right.
Yeah, really. And something, I don't know, kind of a wizard family.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, we're a lot of competition, yeah.
A lot of competition, right? That seemed to. Who had more power?
Him.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, notice that face. So what did you do because he had more power?
Oh, I killed him. Good luck that we are not live on Facebook.
Like my father used to say to me and my brother and my sisters, you guys fight like brothers and sisters. You're still fighting like brothers and sisters. So do you think God wills that anyone suffer?
No, of course not. No.
But look at all the suffering everybody has. Okay.
Disconnection.
Did you invade him back there?
In what sense invade him? What do you mean?
Go to get his power?
No, it was, that's really interesting. It was not taking his power. It was like eliminating him so I could be the more powerful.
Oh, that's what was at the end of that life. What was your score and what was his?
I died. 0-0 because I died. I killed myself actually.
Well, there you go. Yeah. But before you died and he died, what was the score? That was your reward.
80-20.
80-20. Who had 80?
Him.
Uh-huh. Now, let me show you something. Imagine you're back there and you share your power.
Wow. Yeah.
You share your gifts. And now what happens to the score?
100.
Oh, mein Gott.
Powerful. Yeah. It's a dream team, actually.
What was the lesson you were looking to learn in that life?
True bonding.
Right. Bonding makes love and success with ease. Competition makes everything a struggle. And you may be competing with your partner and having a major problem at work and you don't see the connection.
Yeah.
But when you get to partnership with your partner, what happens is you get to partnership with yourself and you get to partnership with heaven, which means you can instead of seeing heaven as an enemy, which your ego has convinced almost all of us that heaven is an enemy. And even the biggest believers, as we get them down into the mind, all of a sudden they see they have this fear of God. It's actually the greatest fear. So they're afraid of letting in the help. Your ego says you'll die. No, your ego will die. There'll be less of you and more of heaven. Heavenly Betty.
Okay.
So back in that life, this lesson was bonding. What was the soul gift you brought in to learn that lesson?
True love.
And what was heaven's gift to you to learn that lesson easily and be happy?
heavenly power.
Right. And heavenly power is miracles. There's no limitations on heaven's power.
Mhm.
So can you be back there as a little girl and receive heavenly power and open up your gift of true love and share that with everybody? Share that with your parents back there, share that with your monkey brother back there, and share heaven's power with him. And now from the time you're a little girl, how far did you get off the track in that life?
500,000 kilometers.
Yeah. And so your ego has you and it has convinced you to look at everything through its eyes. And then it's like you've made your brother into a bad guy. And the nature of perception at this deepest, both subconscious and unconscious level, is that what you see is what you wanted. You wanted it, you sought it out, you expected it, but basically it was a choice, and sometimes a miscreation, a misperception. And that's your ego. And so that's why if you forgive someone, you forgive yourself, and all of a sudden innocence comes into the picture.
Mm.
Can you invite innocence back into that life with you and your brother and ask the angels to get you both back on track? So you can go through that life sharing. God doesn't want you to suffer, and neither do I. Here, have this gift of true love. Here, have this gift of heaven's power. And imagine now taking that train through that life and through all your lifetime since then, sharing those gifts. And you and your brother are throwing out those gifts from the train.
Candy parade.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you come into this life.
Yeah, it's very different. It's love.
Are you friends? Are you allies?
Yeah.
You know, so many people, after they've been married an amount of time, they turn their partner into their brother or their sister.
Mhm.
And then they die of deadness, or they, whatever it is, but that need not be. You know, that's not heaven's plan. Heaven's plan is that there be creativity and love and passion and happiness peacefully.
Mhm.
You know, and if you can come to peace with all of your significant relationships, your mom, your dad, your brother, your friends, your ex-partners, you know, X, where you buried them, X marks the spot where their bones are, you know. But you promised you would save all of them.
Mhm.
You know, and not through sacrifice. Like that never works. Heaven doesn't want you to sacrifice. Because actually, if you get down to it, it's a form of attack. And you're attacking yourself and you're attacking others. Heaven wants you to be happy, Betty, with happy girls and a happy life and happy life. And then, because for heaven, it's like when you get people out of suffering, you get yourself in ancient times out of suffering. Everyone you help yourself. You know, if I couldn't help people, I'd be a hot mess more than I am. So, but it's just like, it's just so much fun to help somebody when they thought there was this problem. So you could wish true love for your brother.
Yeah.
And heaven's power now, because we've forgotten that level of power. And, you know, in wishing it for your brother, you wish it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So all you single guys out there, you know, Betty is now free and ready for partnership. So just doing a little marketing for her, like she does for me. So, you know, return the favor, you know.
All problems solved.
But you have fun. So this time when you go into a relationship, how much more humor will you have?
1000%.
Yeah. If you get it, listen, if you're in a long-term relationship, It's like, get the joke. Get the joke about relationships, men and men, women and women, men and women. What a joke. It's like, get the joke about sex and you'll just have continuous fun. The days I have Lindsay laugh after being together 38 and a half years, it's a great day. I can sneak up on her. I mean, she knows all my jokes. So it's like, but sneak up on her and be funny with her and make her laugh. It's like, it's just a gift. And, to have that level of bonding where we're getting closer and closer because we have committed to go from our special relationship where we're both so special, to being a holy relationship.
What does that mean?
That means that we have wholeness, we have innocence, because every problem you have at some level is punishment for guilt. Now, I can tell you this with authority, none of the guilt is true, but you believe it and you feel it, even though you've repressed it or buried it or don't know how to get out of it. So here's you ready to play some more?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, come on. It's not a question of time, it's a question of nerve.
I have the nerve, of course.
That's my girl. Okay. So who in your life has committed the most unforgivable sin against you? They deserve to be punished. You're getting all the men in your life. Okay.
Yeah, right. It's a relationship session today, so of course.
Yeah. And basically any unhappiness in our childhood, we blamed our parents. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you went deeper, you would find that you're blaming yourself and blaming God.
Yeah.
Okay, but what did he do that was so unforgivable?
He wasn't really present. He didn't care. He didn't give me the special attention I wanted him to.
So
he forgot about his baby girl.
Yeah, this beautiful baby girl. You made the interpretation.
Yeah.
That he didn't care, that he didn't love you. Have you ever been distant from someone you love?
No. Yeah, of course.
Okay, and what was going on with you that you love them, but you stayed distant?
I was just talking with a friend today, actually, about this. I was just busy with myself, with my processes, and didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. So did that mean you didn't love them?
No, absolutely no.
Or sometimes did you love them the most, but still were busy with your process?
Yeah, exactly. It was the contrary. It was like, I wanted to show you how much I love you with that.
look, I succeeded at this. I won. Here, have this. Know how much I love you.
Yeah.
When your father was distant, do you think he didn't care? He didn't love you, or he was out there trying to somehow get through his process and succeed and bring it home to his baby girl?
Yeah.
And his wife and his son.
Yeah, absolutely. Really figuring out actually how to whatever.
Yeah. So was it that he didn't love you, or did you stop loving him? Because he wasn't. Take care of me, Dad, right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will wet my diaper every 10 minutes just so you take care of me. Oh, mom has to do it, huh? Okay. So can you see that where you thought, what I found was pain was always a misunderstanding. And if you got to the root of it, the pain goes away. Can you see it was you removing yourself from your father? You misinterpreted.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really my specialness, just all about me, and not really open for receiving what he.
Can you see how much you love your dad? Mm-hmm. And can you see how much he loves you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to prove your love by doing anything. You can just love.
Yeah.
How much of a burden does that take off your shoulder? I don't have to prove.
100.
Yeah. And you just get, greatest love is your being. It's who you are. You were created as love. And so when you can get all this misunderstanding out of the way, so how much more innocent do you feel?
100.
And how much more deserving of love do you feel?
80, 100.
Sweet. And you see, your dad and your brother are two significant relationships.
Yeah, sure. Thank you
So
so much.
now, but we did all that to get to a deeper level. Okay. Is that we have somebody who committed an unforgivable sin as a way to hide our guilt where we thought we committed an unforgivable sin. So your father was your beard, was your defense to hide you felt so guilty. About what?
Not being present, not being available for my family. Yeah. That's what I judged him actually. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's a big mirror. So when you're judging someone, you're pointing the finger in the mirror, but there's 3 fingers pointing back at you and one going up to heaven, right? Forgive any of you, yourself, your father. So were you being absent because you were afraid of the competition for father's love?
What comes in, I was bored.
Oh, so you were bored, so you thought, let's see if I can win dad away from mom. Who cares about brother? It's just easy.
Yeah, that it really is like that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Now, did it turn out to be fun, or did it turn out to be this big wrecking ball in your relationships?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go back there to however young you were, 1, 2, 3, and it starts that young, as we've seen in the mastery program. And now just invite God's justice, God's grace. God's justice is grace. It's his divine love. Invite truth. Invite the light. So that when that's there, are you bored now?
It's a divine party, actually.
Right. Because when you get bored, you start making idle wishes. Like, I wonder what would happen if I pulled this thing. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
On the black box, those are the words most heard around the world. Oh, Shaisa. Somehow a miscreation. And it's getting past all of these self-destructive tendencies and all of this desire to pay ourselves back with pain, or to attack other people with our pain.
Yeah.
So that's why the Course in Miracles is saying, don't allow yourself to be hurt. It's just a form of revenge. It's just a refusal. And you could have it be an easy birth and answer their call for help. So, is your dad your buddy?
Yes.
Yes. See, because if your dad's not your buddy, how's your true love going to be your buddy? If your brother's not your buddy, there'll be all of that in between. And heaven wants you to have it all. If you had kids, wouldn't you want them to have it all?
Of course.
Don't you think your parents wanted you to have it all?
Yes, still, of course.
And they did the best they could, given the generation they grew up in and all the challenges there and all the challenges with their parents. So in gratitude for how much they gave you and how much they loved you, it's like you could have true love, because that would be a gift to them too.
Absolutely.
Heaven wills no one suffer. Be the poster child for heaven. Did you come to be an angel here on this earth, Betty? Well, you can. And what a gift to your true love husband when you find him. You know, it's like to be a true love angel. Yeah, I mean, you'll heal the worst of you, the best, you know, you'll celebrate the best of you. That's just a relationship. But heaven's will, God's justice is that you have it the easiest possible way. And that you have somebody who you would let heaven love you, not only from their love, but through heaven's love, that they can look at you and see just how wonderful you are. And when all the stuff comes up that says, no, he's my dirty brother. No, you realize that's just an illusion. And he's my beautiful brother. And we came to be best friends and laugh and tease and have fun like little kids.
Yeah.
And to do that for years, building on your relationship to become more whole, more innocent, easy to love, easy to give, easy to be in service.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they need, whatever they're going through, it's not about me. You know, most heartbreaks are all about me and look what they did to me. No, it was a power struggle. No, you were trying to secretly take from them. You were being needy. And that gets things out of balance, leading toward heartbreaks. There's lessons you can learn about this stuff to fortify yourself, to make yourself more whole, to let go of the past, because everybody's dragging the past around with them. But if you were here and now, you'd be having fun, girl.
Yeah, that's what I really want.
Yeah, it'd be a play date. Everything would be a play date with your friends and all your relationship with your friends. How good are your friends? Are they good or what? Yeah. Like that's what your true love is meant to be. It's just your best friend. And that nothing come between that.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And that you just go and it's like in A Course in Miracles, it describes a holy relationship as whenever any partner sees anything that needs working on, you're on it. You know, you take the responsibility and you jump on it for both of you. So, you know, you cover their back and they cover your front and everybody's happy.
Thank you. That sounds really motivating.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You know, it's like one of my favorite stories is the day I got married. I went to my neighbor, invited him to the reception. Come on, we're going to have a big party here tonight over at our property. Come on over. And, you know, he was an attorney, had a beautiful wife, you know, 5-year-old son. And he looks at me and he goes, too bad for you. I went, what? Get married today. And he goes, too bad for you. And so I'm walking up the driveway to my property. I'm complaining to the big guy. And I'm going, listen, if you wanted me to get married, why don't you give me one happy relationship, just one good example of a happy relationship? I'm not asking too much. And it was one of those times where I heard the voice. And the voice said, because you promised you would bring that. And Shirley going, Tabuchi, come inside. So sorry. You know, just. And whenever I want to complain about something missing in my relationship, what I've always found is that underneath the feeling of deprivation and the grievance that usually goes back to when I was a kid, it's like there's this feeling, I have the gift. What am I complaining about? I could bring it if I just get over myself and get the joke and bring
Thank
it.
you for that you brought it actually for all of us. Yeah. So,
it was my promise.
Lesson. Yeah.
Sorry I was so slow about the whole thing.
Thank
They
you
have
so
a sense of
much,
humor
Chuck.
with us. They have a sense of humor with us kids.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for this Valentine's special. So I'm motivated, diving with you into mastery now.
Yes. What I found is you could open the door.
Yeah.
How many parts of you did you throw away in relationships since you were a little kid?
500.
Welcome them back today. Let heaven be your Valentine. It'll bring all the presents. How many parts of your body did you throw away?
300.
Yeah. Ask heaven, bring them on back. I'm ready to begin. I'll be your cowgirl. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just a mistake. It was just somehow a misinterpretation that led to revenge. And you don't have to hurt yourself. Remember who's meant to be the poster girl for heaven? The angel. Okay. Just saying. Okay. Thank you, Betty.
Thank you so much. Love you and see you in a while.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day for everybody.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Let heaven be your Valentine's. Everybody else will fall in place, believe me.
Thank you, Chuck. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.